Hello Ace, this is RetroTK2 and today we're back making our Pokémon Rom Hack. Last time I emailed Gary Linscott about a C# emulator for the GBA, and believe it or not Ace, he actually got back to me. So let's have a look at the original email in all its glory. So I said, hello Gary, I'm a YouTuber creating the Pokémon Rom Hack series, RetroTK2 on YouTube. I saw that you created a GBA emulator in C# back in 2016. I was wondering if there's a website where I can download it, since I believe it'll help with the development of the actual GBA ROM project. So then he got back to me saying, very cool. Yes, I've attached it here. I should upload it to GitHub as well. I haven't tried to build it in many years, so I'm not sure how well it will play with modern tools. So okay, so we're going to download it now and we're going to try and build it. Now I must admit this, I've already built it and I know for a fact that it does work. I use quotation marks as I say work because I got it working, but the frame rate was a wee bit slow. Still workable, but slow nonetheless. But we're going to go with this here for the moment, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so in order to get the actual thing to work, I just had to load up the CS project and run it essentially. So the thing is, I guess back in 2005, I guess they didn't have the concept of a solution where you would have many projects as a solution to a certain problem. I think they just had projects. So what's going to happen now is it's going to create the actual solution folder. Yeah, there it is, solution, and then it'll actually have the C# project underneath. And now we can go and try and run the thing. Now it's going to crash pretty horribly, but we can certainly try it. And of course we have to wait for ReSharper to load. So okay, the error coming back is constant modifier. I mean, hopefully C# is going to, or ReSharper is going to load up for us here. In the main window is the actual issue. So one thing I will say about ReSharper that I had a wee bit of problem with is, it started saying, whenever I loaded it up the first time, it started saying that system wasn't recognized. And what I had to do actually to fix that was go to ReSharper options and go to general and then do clear caches. You do clear caches and it'll say it will be cleared after you restart Visual Studio, did save, restarted, reloaded, and then it was all loaded back in. I believe it's something to do with, well, it's to do with caches and the way that ReSharper remembers certain things, and for whatever reason it was causing, like, I want to say 5,000 errors. And I was like, okay, well, there's no way that this could be true. So doing that did solve that. Okay, so let's go back again. Let's try and see if we can get the thing running. So this is what I was looking for. So I want to double tap on this. And this is talking about is constant, well, I can't even remember what it said there, is constant modifier. Okay, so what it actually wants is us to include this add reference, Microsoft.Visual C, yeah, whatever. So let's go and add that reference, and now we should hopefully be able to run it, and it should hopefully be able to load up somewhat. No, okay, so still, I messed up there, okay. Standard, show potential fetches. Yes, please, add the reference. There it is, we got the reference. Let's go again. So as you can see, it is actually trying to execute, and yeah, of course, it cries. So it says it is not a Windows 32 application. In order to actually solve that issue, we've got to go to Tools. I've got to stop the actual thing. Tools. No, sorry. Right-click on Solution. See the solution of this. Yeah, okay, so it's the other one. It's the actual CS project. We've got to right-click on, go to Properties. And then in the build settings, any CPU, just change that to x86, which basically means that it's going to run it in 32-bit. Actually, I wonder if I could just do that. No, okay. Yeah, it's going to run it in a 32-bit system. Now, I don't know whether I should optimize the code and stuff like that. I'll leave that for the moment and we'll try optimizations afterwards. Okay, so if I go to start now, you'll see that it comes up with loader lock. Now, I haven't got a clue why it comes up with loader lock or what loader lock is this. It doesn't, or it could be affecting the speed of the actual emulator. I'm not sure. Oops, don't fly. I'm not sure if that is the case. Hopefully, if you know what's going on, by all means, please leave a comment below and tell me what this is all about. But it seems that the way to do it is to, so it doesn't actually affect, the thing actually does actually run, but it seems like the way to so the only thing you can do is suppress the actual error, I guess is the best way to do it. So go to Debug, Windows, Exception Settings, come all the way to, oh, I can't even remember what it is, loader lock. No, loader, there it is, loader lock. untick it, and then now it won't show up. For whatever reason, that seems to be it. That's the problem. Okay, another thing you'll need is the GBA BIOS. Now, even if I'll make all these changes, I won't be able to include the BIOS, the GBA BIOS, because, of course, it is against the law, I believe, to host the BIOS. I don't even know if it's against the law to download it. I would say it probably is. I don't know. The legality might be weird on that one. But anyway, I'm going to cut this bit out. Search up GBA BIOS. You should be able to get it. You should be able to get the actual file itself. And it's just basically going to be, well, you know that thing that comes up, the logo, the GBA logo thing? That's what it's going to be. So, well, I'm going to cut this out anyway. Okay, yeah, so once you've got the gba.bin file, the actual GBA BIOS file, we go back in, restart this up again, and it'll probably come up saying that, yeah, we don't have it. So he's hard-coded it to look at this particular folder. Of course, this folder doesn't actually exist, but that's okay, because we can go in the options, BIOS file, not that one. Yeah, desktop, okay. And then go to the bin, go to open, and now we're in. Okay, so now if we do, I don't necessarily want to skip the BIOS. I do want to do use BIOS. Click open. And now I'm going to actually point it towards our Pokemon Rom. So let's go and do that now. Yes, please. Yes, please. And open. And there you go. I'll take off limit FPS. I'm not sure if that makes any difference. It's running it. Like, there it is. There's the problem there, is that it runs like a dog. But it does run. Now, he said that, I'll show you what he said. So I'll pause that for the moment and we'll go back in to see what he said. So, okay, so it sort of went back and forth. So I went, oh, brilliant, Gary. What did I say? Okay, so I got the emulator running after a bit playing around, which I did. I even got the app working. Okay, so I went to the black screen. For whatever reason, I went to a black screen on my Surfaces. On this main computer, it seemed to work. I've no doubt that I've done something stupid there. Now, admittedly, I was rendering a video at the time, so that was probably killing the CPU. Hopefully, that was the case. I've no idea. Okay, so I also checked the disassembler output. Okay, so yeah, just general troubleshooting at the minute. I do ask him quite a bit for helpful links and books, though he never gives them to me. I guess it's all up in the head of Gary Linscott. It's just no doubt it's part of his genius. And okay, so also in my next video, yeah, okay, so yeah, because I was also worried about actually doxing Gary in the last video. Well, you know, whenever I showed his picture on Twitter and stuff, and he seemed to be okay with it, so that's all good. Okay, so I just took a look at the code. It looks like he never hooked up the GDI rendering option. I'm not sure, because it does actually say about a GDI renderer. I'm not sure if that's different than the direct 3D shader. I mean, shader doesn't actually even work for me at all. Like if I go to reset here, go to shader, so we'll reset. It doesn't even render. Although maybe it does. It will start playing. Okay, so it does start playing. Just the render is not working, so it does need a direct 3D, which is pretty cool, I suppose. But okay, so he never hooked up the GDI rendering option. He did ask about the DirectX, and he also says that he's on a Mac, so he can't actually test the the thing itself. Although I thought the VS Code would allow you to, maybe it's because of DirectX actually. Yeah, it's the DirectX, isn't it? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I then come back and say, hi Gary, thanks for the response. Changed his visual display, couldn't get it to work. Blah, 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 saying about, he got the text. I got the text. What happened was I did actually get the BIOS playing this, but I didn't get the thing playing, the actual, what do you call it? It just went to a black screen, essentially, whenever I tried to load up the Pokemon game. He came back and said, okay, so the GBA animation, if it's showing up, it should work, which we've seen it does actually, of course, work. He said it could be it's a problem with the Pokemon games. It could be a bug causing a problem. There is a difference between the save of the Pokemon games as there is the other ones, the other ROMs, yes. But for the moment, well, it shouldn't matter. Let's put it that way. I'll show you what the difference is. He said sort of try a Mario Kart instead. So I did. I got it actually working, yes. And so I was saying about the Pokemon save being too small, which I'll show you the problem that we have with that. And said to them about the frame rate issue, and I also said it's class that we're getting 13-year-old code back up and running. I also said, is it okay for me to show his emails on YouTube, which I'm doing now. He said, yeah, it's fine. So he's surprised. He thinks it's a just-in-time issue. Now, for those of you that don't know, just-in-time is to do with reflection. And really that's about as far as I go with just-in-time. I know it is to do with reflection. It's to do with linking the stuff up, because there's also ahead of time AOT, which is done, the reflection is done, I believe, on a build or a compile time. This is done at runtime, just in time being the operative. So it's probably the fact that the reflection's taken so long to do, which is okay. I guess what we could do, like, I haven't seen his code, I haven't looked in his code, I haven't done any sort of profiling with it or anything yet. So, and I must admit, I don't really do profiling the best of times anyway. It could be because it's in debug mode, and we could test that out. One thing I did want to check out was this. I wanted to see if this would all work. Okay, so let me show you the problem that we're facing straight off the bat. Actually, I tell you what, I will show you it with the in release mode, and we'll see if that has anything to do with it. I mean, will it have anything to do with? Probably not. Is sure, we'll give it a go. Excellent, 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 excellent. So hang on. Is it because it was in debug? Okay, hang on. Oh, is it because I was in debug mode with the build? So it's coming up, remember, with that same issue. Okay. Is it because I didn't save it? Maybe that was the problem. Okay, let's try it again. Oops. Oh, I'll just go with it. We'll see how we get on. Could also be because I'm going on any PC there. No, okay. So we're back to working again. Let's go to open the BIOS. No. Options, BIOS file, go to the desktop, go to the bin. Excellent. Now, ideally it would be good to have it so that it would actually just point to the bin itself directly, but I want to get this thing working. I want to see if this thing's actually, not that it's not worth it, it's just that it'd be cool if we could actually get this like fully running before we start making tweaks to it. So let's open up. Oh. Okay. Listen to that sound, that's class. Okay, so putting it in release mode makes it run better, which of course makes sense. The problem is if it's in release mode, we can't really do that much debugging with it, which is not necessarily what you want. That's pretty cool though. Okay, so this is what I was worried about with the save file. This is what I was talking about. So the 1 megabyte sub circuit board is not installed. So the thing is, in order to save, you can actually get this issue. I think we had this issue before actually whenever I started loading it up. Actually, I'm almost certain that we did. So the problem is that by default, I believe the okay, so by default, the GBA emulator will try and use 64 kilobytes of flash memory for the save. Pokémon requires 128 kilobytes. Did I say megabytes? It's kilobytes. Kilobytes of memory. So he said, save being too small, try changing the memory .cs private constant, this one, to this. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go and do it. Okay, let me try and do this doohickey. And system would probably be, yeah, okay, so we're going to go to memory. And he said changing RAM mask, RAM mask, and we'll do current documentation. BIOS S1. Okay, so this is the one here. We will comment that out, and we will add in this bad boy. Add in a 1, click save. And I must admit that I find this really cool. This is class. I mean, that you're getting into old tech, like it just feels like, I feel like I'm like working on the Millennium Falcon here or something, trying to get it working back up or whatever. You know what I mean? This is class. Like trying to reignite a 13-year-old piece of software is class. Okay, so let's see if we can get this working again. Okay, yeah, that's a real problem. real pain in the bottom. Having to link this up, I mean, it's getting repetitive, Ace, and whenever things start getting repetitive, I'm thinking, okay, it's time to maybe start trying to actually fix that issue. I know how to fix the issue, so it's really, there's like quickly at least hack a fix for it. So there's really no excuse. Okay, so let's have a look. I think it's so class the way it's got that. Okay, so we still have an issue with it. Okay. Why? Why do we have an issue with it? Okay, so I definitely chose the correct one for him. Yeah, change sgram mask. Yep. To this. Oops. Yeah, please. Yes, please. Okay, then go away. Okay. Okay, so I mean, you can still play the actual game. Is the problem is that you just won't be able to. I believe it's you can't save legendaries or something. Probably because they're using memory that's located deeper into the actual save. And the problem is I don't have a clue about any of this. It just sort of shows you the level of work that's gone into here. Read write helpers, memory help. I mean, hey, if anybody knows how to fix it, it's him. So if he's saying that that's the fix and that's not quite working, then, well, I can't fix it. Or at least I certainly can't fix it in one episode. But that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, he's saying disabling BIOS IRQs will not work. I don't have no idea what an IRQ is. Actually, let's have a wee look and just see if this works anyway, straight out of the bat. Click open and hope. So there you go. You see, this is what I'm saying. So without the BIOS, is it because I've got use BIOS on, actually? Maybe that could be the problem. No. Maybe? Click open again. No, so I mean, it does seem that the BIOS is required to get the thing working, at least on my machine. No doubt I'm messing around and completely messing this up. So that is cool that it actually is, it is somewhat working. So this is what I'm talking about. So we come in, things now installed. But you should be able to, yeah, if you just press A, then you can actually get in and start playing Pokemon. Do you not think this is really cool, Is? That music. It's just the way it's been interpreted as well. It's class. So I wonder if there's a way to even fix that to make it sound like the standard stuff. It's so cool though, like being able to get in and actually playing Pokemon. I'm playing Pokemon on a C# emulator. This is class. And it does seem to work. I think that's the biggest thing about it. It does seem to work. And the cool thing is that you can even go in and have a look at the disassemblies and things like that. The problem is though, I don't think that you can do the break-in. That's what I wanted to do, was being able to break in. By the way, this is the actual BIOS file path. So if you were going to go and change it, then you would just pretty much change this one. So what we'll do that now is, we'll see how we get on. And yeah, hopefully then that means I won't have to necessarily worry too much about linking that thing up. That's how we look at the properties. Okay, so it's RetroTK2 desktop. We're going to use a literal string so that we don't have to do the double backspaces as he's done there. And we're also just going to put in GBA.bin. Excellent. And then save that. And hopefully if I start this up again, then it should just all work. Okay, so as you can see, it has worked because it's loading up the actual BIOS. As if, I mean, if you ever remember loading up a GBA BIOS, or the GBA without a cartridge in, that's essentially what's happening there, which is so cool. I don't think I've ever seen that actually on an emulator before, just because I think VBA just skips it. So as you can see, it does all work as it should, which is cool. So now I'm not sure what to do. I'm definitely going to email him back. I want to make it so that either he can host it on his GitHub, or I'll host it on my channel files. Yes. So you, at some point, whatever way it happens, you'll be able to get the actual. You'll be able to get this emulator. It would be probably better if it was him who did it. I don't know. I mean, it's his code. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to take any credit for this at all, because it's like all I've done is just been a monkey and blessed start on the thing. Like. Solved a little bit of like very minor issues, very minor build issues, but I mean this is all him. This has nothing to do with me. Yes. It'd be cool to probably get the sound sorted out. And the biggest problem is I don't have any idea about this thing, which is a massive cop-out because I want to know about it. And I do believe that having a firm understanding about the actual emulator and the way that the actual emulator is using the code, interpreting the different registries, will help us to develop games. Like, that's just the way it is, I think, anyway. I could be completely wrong. But I think it does. So like things like this here probably aren't helping performance because the garbage collector has to go and do this all. It has to actually create the string. I could be wrong on that, Ace, again. It's probably having zero impact on the thing. So let's try it in debug mode again, and let's see how we get on. Yeah, as you can see, it's struggling. I mean, I've never really used the debug or the profilers in Analyze. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, performance profiler, that's perfect. I've never really used the performance profiler in. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yes, please. Can I see it? So yeah, I've never used the profilers before in Visual Studio. I've always used the Unity ones as opposed to Visual Studio ones. Solution configuration is set to debug. Switch to release configuration for more accurate results. Okay, but I mean, there's no way that I can get. Do I have to switch to release? Or is it not even going to let me play without it? No, it's okay. So it still comes up with the issue. Okay, so click this, click start. Okay, cool. So that's how we look and see exactly what's going on with this thing is. Okay. What? Did it switch it to... Has it switched it? No, okay, it hasn't. No, it's still running a wee bit janky. That's good. I mean, I have no idea. I'm trying to interpret this, Ace, and I haven't got a clue, like. I'll be honest. So I'll tell you what, we'll try it in release mode and see if that helps it. Any better? I don't know what this means. Okay, so run emulation loop, which makes sense that would be the biggest hitter. Video manager, render line. Okay. I haven't got a clue about this. Okay, so let's try it. Let's try it again. Where do I go to like start a new one again? Help me. Clear selection? No. Let's just exit out of it, I guess, and then go to analyze again. GPU usage, memory usage, performance wizard is probably what we want. Memory allocate. Okay, yeah, let's do that one, and let's see if that has anything to do with it. I mean, we're doing it in release mode, aren't we? Okay, so I tell you what, let's go cancel again. Let's go back. Come on. Let's go to analyze. Performance Pro. So I had a vague idea. Remember, I had it in my head about the CPU usage. So I want to sort of see if it's different, which I expect it to be. No, it doesn't actually look like it is different. Maybe it's not the CPU that's slowing it down. In fact, if anything, it looks pretty much the same. Weird. Very, very weird is. Okay, so let's try it in debug mode again. And so that emulation loop, which you would expect to be the biggest hitter. Performance profiler. This is pretty cool though. I've never used the performance profiler before, so I'm kind of, I wonder if I should do that now. Okay, we'll try CPU sampling. Finish. Okay. Yeah. Go for it. Okay. Starting the profiler. Come on, profiler. Currently profiling. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. It's a real shame that it can't even use the debug. I suppose you probably can step through. I wonder if you can actually break into the code even whenever it's in release mode. You can tell how much I use the breakpoints and stuff. I really should actually. For the biggest problem with breaking into code or whatever, whenever you're using Unity, it's sheer laziness, it is, but you've got to attach the actual Unity editor, and a lot of the time I will do that, of course, if I'm working on like a really big, hard to diagnose bug, but whenever I'm just like trying to fix like a really, really simple, quick bug, I'm just sort of going, yeah, we'll just do a debug log, carry on with that. Okay, so we're preparing the open report. Preparing to open report, sorry. Sort of amazing looking back at the actual code itself, because I mean a lot of stuff could just be auto properties that you could use. It might be actually worth refactoring this code. Okay, so the profiling has completed this. Let's go and have a look at it. And okay, exact same again. Oh no, hang on. Here's what I wanted to look at. Okay, so it's the exact same. So it looks inclusive samples, thumb.core, execute. So I mean, this is the biggest bulk of everything. Memory read registers 15. So those are all the registers of the actual, that's so cool. These are all the registers of the actual, check the current PC. These are all, sorry, the registers of the actual GBA. Breakpoint hit true, flag helpers. Okay. Yeah, I get you. I don't have a clue. Yes, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Is what we're going to say with that. So let's get rid of that. But it does work. I think that's the biggest thing, that it does, in some way, it works. I want to see if actually you can break, we'll just do this here, last thing is, we'll just see if we can break in to the actual code on release. I don't think you can, but we'll try it. Hey, we'll see how we get on. I mean, initialize surely is going to be hit, right? No, it won't be, not be this shit, but it won't be hit by this shader render. It will be hit here though. So let's add in a breakpoint here. Let's start this bad boy up. It should hopefully be hit immediately. No, of course it won't be, because it's in release. The breakpoint is not currently hit. Yeah, no, someone has been loaded into this document. Okay, so that makes sense. And then if we do this, of course, it's going to hit it pretty, yeah, immediately. Right, okay, so okay. That's a bit of a shame, yes. I mean, it's not deal breaking, you know. But I would need to sort out the sound issue in order for it to be used in development, and I would ideally want to speed up the process with it in order to get it to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Gary another email, I think, asking about whether he's going to host this or I'm going to host it. Hopefully that he'll let it go out into the world. I'm pretty sure he will. I don't see why he wouldn't. But yeah, I would love to get this thing into Unity. It would be cool. It really would be cool if we could get this thing into Unity. And it would be cool as well if we could speed it up with the debug stuff. I really wanted to do it. But I mean, if release is all we can use, release is all we can use, and we've still got a pretty good emulator there. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, Ace. It's class to see that we've actually got some 13-year-old code back up and lit again. So yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe, Ace. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. Sort of explored it in different avenues. It seems class. I'm actually getting to speak to people as well in the ROM space. You can email me at retrotika2@gmail.com with any questions you've got. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.